I'm in Las Vegas and I'm happy to be here with my friend Lucas. I'm salivating a little bit from that delicious looking ice cream. Jess and Maggie, that was some impressive action between Neo and Firefly. Lucas, are you ready for another social media makeover?
I'm ready. The show continues. We're building on to our previous episodes we've had, and here we go.
We are. I love this topic of UGC, by the way. Hello, everyone in the chat. We're going to come to you in a moment. You're a part of this. If you've checked out our show before, if you haven't, welcome. But if you have, you know that it builds on itself. We've said this before. It's kind of like a mini course in itself. And each time we do this show, we tackle a new topic, talk a lot about Instagram, social media platforms as a whole. But UGC, it's funny, Lucas, I was like, where do we even begin with this? It's even a term. I hear the term and I'm like, what does that mean again? But when I actually reflect on this has become my primary income stream. This is the majority of what I do day to day for a job. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, UGC, you hear it tossed around quite a bit, and it's almost evolved into one of those content formats that has many different definitions where everyone's kind of
Yes.
not sure on what the right one is, but we're definitely going to break it down today. I like to think of UGC as the idea. Well, I will say first, user generated content, UGC. I like to think of it under the idea that if you think about promo content as brands speaking about their own products and services, yeah, that's been advertising for a very long time. But now with social media, you don't need just the brand talking. You can gain a lot more trust from your prospective customers or clients by having other users or other happy, satisfied customers or clients talking about your content. UGC can take many forms. It kind of branches off from brand content or paid partnership content, which I know we've both dabbled in quite heavily, but
Yep.
it can also be getting a content creator, whether they have a large audience or not, tons of options, like I said, getting a content creator who is just a user of your tool, user of your product, to create a video sharing their perspective. And it can then be posted to the brand channel, or it can be posted as a collab with the brand account, or it can be the more typical influencer style, paid partnership style that I mentioned, where that creator is sharing it to their audience. But so much
Genius.
different, yeah, so much versatility in how this can be used. And that's everything now. When we want to make one piece of content, get the most bang for your buck, reuse it on as many channels and feeds as possible, UGC is perfect for this.
And I can't think of a better platform to do this in than Adobe Express. I
That's what we're
mentioned,
going to do
well,
it.
we'll hop over to your screen, I think, Lucas, and maybe we mentioned the remixable template with every social media makeover episode. We give you a remixable template. Friends, Lucas just did an excellent explanation of this. If you are a business owner, you have a brand, UGC content is probably something you want people creating on your behalf. Friends, if you are a creative pro, if you're a graphic designer, if you are, I mean, you could be a plumber and you still have the opportunity to create user generated content. That could be sponsored content that you're paid to create. This could be affiliate content where you get paid when you make a sale. There's so many tremendous, incredible opportunities that exist, and my hope is that you'll leave this hour feeling inspired to be able to implement this either as a brand or as a creator. Let's go.
And I love the word implement because, like you said, we have these remixable templates. I want to know in the audience, whoever's listening, how many social media makeover episodes have you tuned into? Have you got the full comprehensive course, episode 1 to, I believe, episode 5 is what this one is? Let us know.
Yes.
I love to see that.
And you
But
don't have to do them in order either. You can
no,
jump
yeah,
around. That's like how I read books. I'm terrible. I can't, it's hard for me to start at the beginning, go to the end. I like jump around. Like, it's just how my brain works.
just
I guess I'm in the right
constantly a bunch of
industry.
books with bookmarks. There you go,
Yeah,
which you can also design
exactly.
in Adobe Express.
You can make those in Adobe Express. Idara has just put the remixable template in the chat. Thank you,
Nice.
honey. We have Clever, we have King Ren, we have, gosh, we got lots of people. Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Lance. I'm so thrilled you're here. Hey, perfect. Of course. So happy you guys are here with us. I am truly excited about how you can use this remixable template and start to think about this aspect of your business. Last thought on this. I never planned on being a content creator, by the way. I owned a branding agency for 14 years. Now, my income as a content creator doing UGC is greater than my income stream working with clients doing branding. The world needs you, your expertise, your perspective, your story. And the way that you can create this content is in Adobe Express. It makes it easy, and you're going to watch us do this today in a workflow that you can literally copy.
And I'm gonna just give a disclaimer that this is real what UGC looks like. And I can vouch for that because last year around this time, I did a little experiment where I figured if I wanted to speak about UGC, user generated content, and what that is, I want to do that. So I reached out to a bunch of brands as an anonymous person. This wasn't to be posted to my main channel. And I said, hey, here are some examples of some content I've created. I sent them some videos I've made in Adobe Express. I showed them my ability to create B-roll, which is what this template is all about gathering, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I wanted to create UGC for brands, and a beard grooming company with like beard oils and beard shampoos got back to me, and I created like 6 videos. I think it was an ad agency working on behalf of the beard
Yep.
company, but I created like 6 UGC beard videos, and they were all entirely faceless. And I know the whole like faceless video thing is something that is appealing to many creators out there right now. People are a bit camera shy, and that's understandable. Like Phil said, he didn't think he'd be this full-time content creator or, eclipsing his brand agency income with
Mhm.
content. But here we are. Many people, like plumbers, artists, teachers, they've all felt the same thing. And it comes down to content, largely video content. But understandably, if you're starting out, you don't know what shots you need. You don't really know
Mhm.
where to get that content. And what this template does, it's a B-roll shot list, which basically helps you, guides you into the behind the scenes content for the things you do every day and how you can just take quick little snippets and log it all here in Adobe Express. Adobe Express obviously combines multiple types of media, so you can work with your video files, you're working with your photos, your other elements that you've designed. So it's fully capable of having your video files in here. I'm going to show an example of what I've gotten it to look like. But our basic idea here is we are going to load in almost like a sticker book. I think our templates, Phil, have become very sticker book-esque after the last few
Yes.
weeks. But we're going to load in video files into these blank spaces. And we've given some descriptions of the shots you might try to get. But these are fully movable video files. Like these are my actual videos. If I hit play, it's playing. There's me doing my usual acting that is hopefully getting better with each week. But these are fully there. I like it here in Adobe Express because just a quick little sneak peek before I do actually get to the designing is I can easily copy and paste these and use them fully in Adobe Express in the project all in one go. I'm going to delete that for now. But that's why this is such a useful template. It's really a combination of digital storage where you're keeping all your video files, all your assets that you're going to use in your content, and the actual project window where you're working. And highlight my favorite, you can see them all of different sizes. So we have our video here, but then also our multiple different shot collections. But let's go back to the template. The way we've organized it is, again, under that idea of if you're new to content or new to video, you might not know what shots to get. So we've kind of broken it down into different categories. If traveling and being in the outdoors is something that might be useful for your content, here are some shots you might try to get. Prop up a camera, get a nice little simple tripod. I have an example of one I use. Let me not unplug anything grabbing it here.
Can I give you,
But
while you're doing this, can I
yeah.
give you a shout out? I forgot to mention this when we talked about past episodes of Social Media Makeover. Your influence on me creating short form content is significant. I recently posted a pre-post to Adobe Summit, which is an Adobe conference but focused on business and enterprise. I created a reel from the forest in Colombia. I had no Wi-Fi, and so I had to do it from memory. And I made sure I had Lucas's brain or Lucas's voice in my brain saying, no clip should be longer than 3 seconds. And so we just got a bunch of little clips. I even filmed myself walking like behind so you couldn't see my mouth moving, just in case I had
Right.
to
Right.
revoice something after. And I forgot to say, I'm partnering with that, which is like a, FTC disclosure. That's important for sponsored content. You have to be sure to disclose if it's a paid partnership. Um, but we actually added waterfall effects, like a waterfall effect over top of the voice that I voiced later. And I got so many compliments on my reel by stepping out of my comfort zone. And it's all the things I learned from you, by the way.
I love it. And that's what I think I like about this like sticker book style that I'm kind of pointing here with our multiple episodes on storytelling and video creation is have that short little 3 second clip. And I remember seeing that exact post and I said, this is some real storytelling from Phil. I like this post a lot.
You knew you had an impact on that. You knew it. You knew it. Maybe if we have time, I'll show it at the end
I
because it
I
was
would
fun.
like that too, and it's very Adobe themed too, which is awesome. Here is the tip. Get something like this, just your typical little flexible tripod, something that you can quickly prop a phone onto, and that is a great way to just have content on the go. Even better if you're partnering up with someone who's also a content creator and they can help you out, which is neat because they can film you walking, like Phil said, over the shoulder, walking, get that footage. It's a lot easier than sticking a tripod to a tree, but we
And
get it done
planning
no
it
matter
ahead
what.
of time like this,
Yes.
and in a platform like Adobe Express where you're probably going to build it out, take those few extra minutes like we're doing today and just give it some brain power ahead of time. And it really alleviates the pressure in the moment to try and think about not only do I need to film it, but what do I film? It's just a
Right.
lot to think about in the moment.
Yeah, instead of it's kind of like making a fake adventure. Like you need to
Yeah.
do these things. Okay, I need a POV. And again, you're not stuck on these examples. They're just a starting point. The great part about it being a text box is you are easily changing it to whatever you would like. But again, if you know you need, okay, I like the sound of this, a POV shot walking through a busy street or market, packing my bag for an adventure, opening a laptop in a coffee shop, overhead drone shots of a location. Maybe you don't have a drone. I don't have a drone. Phil, I don't know if you have a drone,
I
but
do have a drone. Yeah,
oh,
but I don't
really?
really know. I mean, I don't. Okay, Javi, my partner has a drone. I don't. I mean, yeah,
I should have
he
known you
flies
have a
it.
drone though. You
Yeah.
have the great content setup, which is awesome.
To be fair, I recently got the DJI Osmo Pocket, and
Yep,
that's been my favorite thing because I'm actually not great at filming things, but it's got the gimbal and it keeps everything nice and stable. So it's going to make my content look better than I'm capable of making it on my phone.
nice. I got to try one of those because I've been seeing good results from them for sure. As you're going through this though, look for the ones that fit you, right? You can obviously move these around, you can delete them. This is just an example. I've put in approximately 9 shots on each page, but if you don't like that shot, delete it, type something else in.
Mhm.
The other thing I want to highlight is yes, definitely a good thing, a good practice to get the content yourself. Once you do, you just bring it into Adobe Express. It'll come in like this. You bring it over to the text box. I already have these nice little lines to help me out. And there it is. I just put my sticker right there in my sticker album. But you have a lot of shots that you've made yourself. You can totally look and get some stock video, which I'm going to put into our video as well, just for fun.
Mm.
You're not always going to get every single shot. When I was filming, I was having a lot of trouble. I was doing this by myself, I should say, as many creators will be doing. I was
Yep.
having trouble getting like a shot like this one, which I'll extend so we can see a bit bigger here. Let's bring it to the front. It's a shot of like writing at a desk or typing on a computer. I'll just play it here. Just nice little action shots like that. But you know what? Those can be my hands. That's not so different where it can't be my hands. So I'm going to just use that as a clip in our video as well. And you can
I
easily find these.
100% thought that was you.
Right. It
You're
almost looks,
telling me that that's not you?
I feel like we both have a jacket similar to this, like this, like sleek.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that in your branding too, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's,
And yours. You
yeah,
would
like
have
our
fooled me,
photos.
my friend. You would have fooled me.
Anyways, to get those, you're just easily adding assets here. So on the left, you're going to add, and then all the media has been sorted into a nice category here. You go to videos, start typing what you are looking for. We are looking for typing at, there we go, typing on the computer. I saw that pop up. Typing on the
That
computer.
That's just this integration with Adobe Stock. As a brand strategist, I can tell you, having built brands and websites for clients over the years, my brain is like an inventory of all the different stock photo and video resources. Even pre Adobe Live and Adobe Express ambassadorship, I have always been a fan of Adobe Stock for high quality assets. And the fact that you can hop into Express and access hundreds of thousands of assets by clicking that media tab and then filtering between photo, video, and audio, you don't have to go elsewhere. You get to stay in one place where you're building your content, or in this case, planning your content.
Yep.
And it's just like one less thing to worry about, one new destination, another subscription or another, etc. It's all here for you to use and just make use of. Check that out. I like the little paint one. That's cool. There's so many good ones in there. And I love that there's so many clips that are vertical now.
That's what exactly what I want to highlight too is it's very clear to see right away which clip is going to match your project. So we're obviously making a vertical video, but even though vertical video is finding its way onto so many social media platforms, there's still that tried and true horizontal. We both create for YouTube. We know how big YouTube is, and
Yep.
you have both options here, but it's so easy to quickly see. Yes, I can always crop a horizontal video to make it fit, and sometimes for a nice zoom in, I'll do that, but I can quickly see which clips are going to be vertical and probably suit what I'm looking for the most. I decided to go with one of these options here just to test it out. Phone scrolling through social media or analytics. So I typed in phone scrolling and got a bunch of options here. Just taking a quick look. Maybe I like that one. It's already kind of going with my idea of scrolling onto, typing at a computer. Maybe in the next scene, again, just click on it, drop it into the project. Maybe in the next scene, I'll go a little bit closer, change the perspective. Those hands don't look too different from this clip to this clip. I think something I want to say is we overthink our project so much where we go, well,
Yes.
I know it's a different clip. The viewer's going to know that automatically too and say, that's not the same hands being used. I'm no longer immersed in the video. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? No one's thinking that, right? But we think that because we're in the driver's seat, we're putting together the content. I promise you, your audience will just be so immersed in you talking, your voiceover, in any music you have, in any on screen elements or animations, in the actual video clip. There's so much going on that they're going to see the wholesome picture, the wholesome piece of content, not that one stock clip that you used.
Amen to that. Don't overthink it. Lance made a really good point over in the chat. I want to read this. Lance said templates are best for consistency of look and therefore recognition of brand. Templates also speed up workflow. Amen to that. I mean, we're providing a remixable template for this show and for our other social media makeover shows. But templates and Express, I'm telling you, this has been a huge theme this week out in Vegas. Businesses using Adobe Express, templates can cut your time in half or more just by having something to start from. Just get started. You can single click apply your brand in Express. You open that brands tab, you click that button, and boom, adjust fonts, colors, etc. I love this. See, look at all those brands in action. You've got all of this. Look at you. Do you use Adobe Express or something?
I do quite a bit, actually.
So do I. So do I. Brands. Let me speak quickly to how content can be organized in Adobe Express. You've got your brands, which are specific to Express. You've got your libraries, which span across Creative Cloud apps.
Yeah.
Let's say you're working on a seasonal campaign for an ad, right? You might have a library where you're leveraging assets from Photoshop, Illustrator. Those can be brought over to Express. You've got access to your Lightroom photos in Express. You can import InDesign files into Express. You can import PowerPoints into Express if you want to take something, repurpose that for social media. Just kind of think, I mentioned presentations because Lucas, like I'm a keynote speaker, and so I've got
Right.
presentations that I've delivered in years past. I've got videos embedded or graphics embedded. Like, friends, just pause for a moment and go, what do I already have that I can use for this UGC content? chances are you've already spent minutes preparing for a presentation, creating a graphic, creating a report. All of that can be imported into Express and used and leveraged for what you're working on.
And something I want to show just on that note, while you were mentioning the idea of, presentations. You mentioned a ton of formats just now because again, we show up in so many ways.
Yeah.
Now, this wouldn't be something I'm going to delete this after because it doesn't fit our template, but I always love my favorite Adobe Express feature is how you can have so many different project sizes or,
Yes.
yeah, design sizes, I guess is the term to use, all in one go. So, like, I just added this template here for a nice little slideshow, right? And a little intro for a keynote or a speech, anything like that. And it's all in the same window. So, if I were trying to expand different things, resize, a graphic that I already made into a presentation slide, you can do that and keep it all in one place, which is very nice.
Love it. The one I forgot to mention, the newer organization type is projects in Express. We should mention it because that also integrates with social calendars. So a
Oh,
project in
nice.
Express can have multiple brands. It can have multiple folders and files. So friends, those are like all the places you can organize. To Lucas's point, very unique in Express to be able to have different pages and page sizes in one project. Can't do that in other browser-based design tools, not naming names.
And it just keeps your organization way cleaner. I've mentioned
Yeah.
already having less tabs, and it's huge for that, which is awesome.
It does. And also not just the organization, right? But it's also like leveraging some of those bits and
Yeah.
pieces from my Instagram carousel that then becomes a presentation that I want to add animation to, etc. Love.
Get those feeds in, get those channels, get on there.
Ruben's here. Ruben's in the chat. Hi, Ruben. Hi, Monica. Hi, Ryan. We're here. Whoa, we're happy you guys are here.
Got a
That's
party.
great.
All the friends are here.
Yeah. Some of you are also using the same camera, the DJI Osmo. I've been using it
Nice.
this week to grab footage at the conference, and it's just been so awesome.
So I'm excited for your storytelling content. We'll be seeing it. I'll
Yes,
give you a little rundown right now on how you can make that storytelling content.
please.
So with going back to UGC with like telling the user story, the customer story, you want to promote some sort of product, but you want to do it in a way that feels like it's something you're using, right? It's what's the actual experience of this? Ideally, this is another user of the product creating the content. Like I said, you don't want just the brand saying, "Hey, I'm Lucas. I work for, insert company name here. Here's our latest project." Right? We've never seen that really work on social media because people want to consume social content first and foremost. The good news is hearing it from someone else and having them advocate for it is what UGC, user generated content, is all about. So I'm going to create a little example of that right here. I've recorded a voiceover, which again, you could also do it right in here if you wanted to. You can absolutely just hit record. If we go over to audio, I can record my own voiceover. Since we're live, I took that into my hands earlier, just so you guys don't have to hear me say it any more than I would be. But I'm gonna play this quick voiceover, and then we're gonna do my favorite way to edit video in Adobe Express, which is what I call like the building block style. I'm gonna snip this project window that we have here, this timeline bar, and I'm gonna actually just add in the clips that I already have right here in my bank of B-roll shots. So let's listen to that voiceover. I've already added some music as well. That's why you'll see two different audio bars down here. But let's listen. Struggling to figure out what to post on social media? Staring at your screen, expecting it to write the caption for you? Yeah, same. But what if I told you that you could have an entire year of content ideas planned out for you? Introducing the 2025 Social Media Made Easy Content Calendar. It's like having a tiny marketing genius whispering content ideas in your ear, except way less creepy. So if you'd rather spend less time overthinking captions and more time actually growing your brand, grab your copy now. Your future self will thank you, and so will your engagement rate. So there we go.
Okay, voiceover king. Bow down. Wow, what a performance.
Shout out Adobe Podcast for enhancing the voice. I will say that.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that wasn't you. That was Adobe Podcast with that deep, sultry bass.
Well, that was me.
Um,
That was me.
that was all you. So you did something great there. When you recorded your voiceover, you only talked to one person. You didn't
Mm,
shout as if it was to a room. It was just you spoke to one person. I recommend that's like a little media training tip. But as you are, I mentioned it because I mentioned the example of like the plumber earlier. that might be someone who's not as comfortable in front of the camera. There's no pressure to use your face in it, although we've talked about before, content with faces, human faces typically does better.
Yep.
But like a voice like that, a voiceover, which you can record directly in Adobe Express. So you select, there we go. They've reorganized this slightly. So you
Yeah,
go to
there we go.
add,
Let me go to the start
um,
again. Add.
yeah, add, and then media, and then I think under audio.
Yep.
So if you're a plumber and you're wanting to grab some stock footage, I don't know where that example came from, but we're running with it.
It's a good
Go
one.
to, it's a
Plumbers are
good
some
one,
of the
right?
biggest like YouTube content creators. They
Yeah,
like
and
teach
TikTok.
simple everyday plumbing for people. So that's a great example.
Right, you could, I mean, let's say to start, especially if you're uncomfortable, you could go to media and get some stock footage of, I don't know, look up plumber and see what you get. I can't promise anything. It's a kind of a, but something. It's something. It could be anything. Yeah, look
Yeah,
at
look at this.
this.
Look at
Look
this.
at this.
Look,
Look at this. Look, it's
got the
perfect. So
there's even vertical video for plumbing. Look at this.
when you go to record your voiceover, my recommendation is talk to one person. Even though right now we have 46 people watching live and many more will catch the replay, we are only talking to each other. It helps to have another person, but that's a great little tip to deliver a piece of content that resonates with that one person who's watching it on their device.
Yeah, it's the same with like Instagram stories. Don't start with the like, hey
Hey,
everyone, hey
everyone,
guys.
don't do
Since,
it.
since you've all been asking, nobody asked, right?
I may have asked you, Lucas. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
speak to the one. But yeah, I was just like, okay, what can we do for UGC? I have my little content calendar, so I'll make sure I'm just promoting something that's my own, and we'll make this little video. So kind of goes against UGC because the whole point is you get someone else to promote it. I am the creator of this, but we're working with my stock footage here, so that's what we're going with. But what I'm gonna do is clip the I'm going to trim this audio here into scenes that I can then quickly insert videos into. So as I'm playing it, I'll play each sentence, pause it where I want to stop, and then do a little trim.
Mhm.
Struggling to figure out what to post on social media? Let's do it there. Split. Staring at your screen, expecting it to write the caption for you? Let's split there. Like Phil said, we're looking at those 2, 3, 4, 2 or 3 is probably ideal sentence scenes that are nice and quick. So it's grabbing that attention, keeping the audience going. Yeah, same. I saw your reaction during that yeah, same part
Yeah,
earlier.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
same.
really wanted to troll you, but I'm gonna behave today.
Well, we're gonna find some footage for yeah, same. That's what we're doing. Maybe I'll troll
Yeah,
myself.
same. I know that's why we have fun because
Yeah.
neither of us take ourselves too seriously. And actually, that's a point we should make. When you're making UGC, this is not the creation of a blockbuster film. I have to remind myself that because I've got the fancy camera at home. I've got the fancy office setup that is my safe content sanctuary. And guess what happens when I step outside of it and do something interesting? I get messages from people like Lucas that say, "This is your best content ever." Like we have to push ourselves to show up,
Yeah.
almost even overcompensate slightly with the personality, because this is what makes you human. This is what people connect with, and this is what people relate to.
Yeah, the person watching it doesn't have like a master setup at their house, right? If they were to record content, they would probably just prop up a camera too. So it's much more relatable. I just
Yeah.
started a series yesterday. I did the first episode on my Instagram, which, whenever I start these, I never know if I'll continue them. But I like this one, and I'm getting those comments you mentioned.
Mm.
It's like social media tips from my car. And I'm literally just sitting in my car, very little editing. It's just me speaking to the point. And a lot of people are saying, like, love this series, love the idea that it's from your car. Just like you pointed out, it's changing things. It's relatable. Someone might be sitting in the passenger seat, hopefully not the driver's seat, of a car while that video comes up on their feed, and they're gonna say, "Hey, that's how I feel. I'm gonna watch this." So you never don't
Yes.
overthink it.
Don't overthink it. Well, and also, Bliss says, "What? I can't be like, hey, y'all, Bliss, if that's your brand, then you can be."
Yes.
We're kind of encouraging you to, in most cases, trim that greeting at the beginning. Most of the time, we don't need it. And the first 3 seconds of your reel, it determines if people continue to watch it. Okay. So The hey y'all, it might be your brand. I kind of like it because Lucas and I are good Canadians. So we appreciate those little, Southern little moments. But if you can get to the content sooner, you won't believe what I just learned how to do in Adobe Express. Check this out. Like instead of, hey, y'all, you won't believe, like we've already lost. You see what I mean? The first 3 seconds are like, that's the chance to grab their attention in what you say
Yeah.
and in what you show. Those two elements don't need to be the same, by the way. A lot of times those are working together.
I like what you said too about like I always say this with like any strategy for social media, content creation, being creative, art, anything. There's strategies, there's stuff that will be shared, but stick to what you feel works for you too, right? If your audience is already
Yes.
saying like, I listen for the hey y'all when I'm swiping through the feed and I know it's you right away, then stick with that, right? You've made that work and that's awesome. So yeah, we always speak to like general strategy, especially for people who are starting out. But if you find
Yeah.
something that is you and your audience knows and expects, don't change it just because we're saying it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let me just trim the rest of this so we have our little segments and then we can start putting in the videos. But what if I told you that you could have an entire year of content ideas planned out for you? And again, I just look for the sentences, split out the sentences. You can always undo it if you make a mistake. Introducing the 2025 Social Media Made Easy Content Calendar. Split. It's like
Love to see you
having a
whipping
tiny
around in
marketing
Express.
genius whispering content ideas in your ear, except way less creepy. And I think we got two more sentences. Let's see. So if you'd rather spend less time overthinking captions and more time actually growing your brand, I think I'm splitting there. Let's see. Your copy now. Your future self will think, I want to keep that get your copy now in it. So again, I just did
Mhm.
Command Z, undo. There's also these arrows up here at the top. And I'm going to re-listen to that. I want that last word in there. Growing your brand. Grab your copy now. There we go.
Also, hi to Josh is here. Hi, Josh. He just said, I just recorded a voiceover directly in Express using that feature, and it was so easy. Amen. We love when we hear that Express is making your life easy and it's enabling you to create your content quickly. Express is an appropriate name for the
It's got the right
platform
name.
because it really does help you create good content and help you create it quickly.
So what I'm going to do, like I said, I designed this B-roll shot list that we're sharing as a remixable template. You can get it in the video description. It'll be shared in the chat as well, I'm sure. It's like a sticker book of your own clips, whether they are stock video footage, like this one that we found directly here in Adobe Express, or clips you filmed yourself. I like to just copy the clip, and now I'm just going to paste it. I make sure that it's where I want it to be here in my timeline. But let's just paste that. Got my screen here. You can always drag it. I like to just use fill video.
Yeah.
And as you can see down here, I love how it's making sure it's only because I did that little building block. Again, that's a term I just made up. I like to use because I have this little segment that is as long as the sentence I'm trying to have on screen. It only takes from the stock video that much. And you can see in this bar, there's this extra gray spot here. That's not making it into the video. If there ever was a part that I wanted in that, 2-second segment, what I'm doing here is I'm just clicking and dragging, and everywhere that's showing up in that little purple bar above the clip, that's what's going to be in the video. So it's really easy to just like visualize, all right, what do I want? Maybe this is a 30-second video clip and the part I need is 2 seconds long. I can find the perfect 2 seconds, or in this case, the perfect 3.3 seconds, as you can see down here. It labels all the time. So let's see. I want to really be looking stressed. Let's find me looking stressed.
The acting skills. I
Struggling to
was also
figure out what to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. I was also thinking something I hadn't thought about before is as you're building out your almost like repository of assets,
Yep.
this could very easily be done in Express in a number of ways. But I'm even imagining using a project in Adobe Express. I don't do this yet, but I could. You could almost create a library of your B-roll, and that way you don't have to shoot it from scratch every single time
Yep.
you need it. Just a thought.
I love doing the same with like brands. Like I'll keep like my most used like images, so like Lucas personal brand, for example. I'll
Yep.
keep like the assets I use all the time. Here's one too that was like our Reels safe zones or like story
Yeah.
safe zones overlay. I keep that in most of my brands because I can just pop it in there and use it to make sure that nothing crucial is fitting in these red zones. That was in a previous episode you can check out. Go take a look at the playlist, all the Adobe live episodes that have been on the channel, and you'll find this one. But it's great to have it all in one place. It is like a storage, a library, right?
Can we do a temperature check in the chat? Friends, do you currently create UGC? Are you thinking about incorporating this into your work? And maybe the last question here, it's just like a number of questions you can answer, but like, is creating content for brands something that interests you? If you are hired to do it, paid to do it, is that something you would be excited about? Let us kind of know. There's a handful of you here. I'd love to just learn a little bit more about where you're at, if this is something you do or if it's something you're planning to do. I, for one, love creating this kind of content for brands. I absolutely love it. I also make a pretty good living doing it, truly. No, I mean, it's not you. I mean,
I'm the same. Yeah,
and
it's
so
like
much as
my
you just
business is
start.
branded content.
Like, friends, you just start. If you want it, the truth is, if you want to know what got me here as an Adobe Express ambassador for 4 years, I got an email from Adobe when it was Adobe Spark that said, Phil, we saw you on an Instagram live. You know, we found you on Instagram. Would you be content about Adobe Spark at the time? That is how all of this started. So I get really excited about this opportunity for other people because you get to be an expert in whatever you do, like being a
Yep.
plumber, like being a baker, like Josh, like being a UX designer, like Ruben, like being a teacher, like my friend Lucas. Friends, you can have your career, your job, graphic designer, whatever it is, animation artist, illustrator, and then you can be making money from content you enjoy creating, sharing your story. What a time we live in.
And the thing I wanted to highlight about UGC as you're saying that is, like I said with my example of how I tried making UGC and I reached out anonymously, didn't share like that I have an Instagram audience, is you can create UGC for brands, reach out to them and ask if they're open to UGC without needing your an audience to leverage. So like Phil said, if you are starting out, if you are new and you're thinking, well, I can't create content for brands, I don't have X amount of followers. UGC, the whole point is that it's something a brand can post as content to their own page, their own channel. Go look at the Adobe Express Instagram account. They have a lot of UGC, which is Adobe users who maybe aren't social media influencers, maybe don't have huge audiences, but they just have a cool story to share about how they use Adobe Express, how they use Adobe Photoshop. I'm sure
Mhm.
any of the Adobe Instagram accounts have good examples of UGC, user generated content. And again, not this content isn't only brand partnerships. It could just be a creator who has a really cool story to tell, who they're reaching out to and asking for a video from that they can
Yes.
post to their own channel.
Yes.
So I've been piecing together these building blocks. I'll show what we have right now, and then I'll fill out the rest nice and quick. But again, all I'm doing is just taking my stock footage and matching it into those segments that I have. Let's play it again, and we'll stop it when I haven't put clips yet. Struggling to figure out what to post on social media? Staring at your screen, expecting it to write the caption for you? Yeah, same. But what if I told you that you could have an entire year of content ideas planned out for you? Did you like the transition from the closing laptop to the opening laptop? Whoa, how do you do that?
Wow.
And again, that is found. I've sorted everything into one window just for the ease of it, but in the template that you can take a look at, the one we've done, the B-roll shot list, one of them is specifically closing and or transition shots. So again, just something super short, 1 or 2 seconds. That clip of me closing the laptop, extremely short, right? If I go to it here, slow motion, let's make it big. Let's bring it to the front so we can see. That's super quick, right? Nice
Hmm.
and fast. It doesn't need to be long. We have a bunch of those here that you can film as examples. So again, it's meant to be if you have tons of content ideas already, you make some really great storytelling content and you know what B-roll, change these, type in your own, use it to help organize your ideas. But if you are new, just sit down, give yourself an afternoon with a camera and challenge yourself to make 3, 4, or 5 of these shots. You'll be surprised at how much good content you get that you can then use endlessly.
Absolutely. Whether it's shooting content for a specific reel, whether it's, repurposing something you already have, whether it's you not panicking because you forgot to get a shot, you can hop over to stock and find something creative to use in its place. I want to remind you all, and we're doing our temperature check over in the chat. So some people, Lance, let's see, A Purvis said, thought about making them last Tuesday for the T part of the story strategy, but stressed out.
Oh, love it.
A Purvis, we don't want you to stress out. We want you to realize that this can be very easy once you get in the habit. I was going to say, I just had this moment where I'm reflecting. People are getting a front row seat into how you create your own content. Not that I like to brag for you, but you have more than 400,000 followers on Instagram. And you're showing us exactly how you do this. You don't gatekeep, Lucas. Like, this is literally how you make your content. Friends, it's like a little classroom where you're getting to see him in action, and it's just a really it's cool, and it's inspiring. So, April, don't try not to stress out. When in doubt, WWLD. What would Lucas do? He would hop into media and grab a clip, repurpose something you've already got. Just
Yeah.
work with it and don't sweat.
Yeah, and the more you do it, the better, like the faster and easier it all gets, right? Adobe Express at one point was brand new to me. Photoshop was brand new to me. Firefly, all the tools I used were brand new to me at some point. Instagram was brand new to me at
Mhm.
some point, and I didn't know how to post a carousel post, things like that, right? The more we do it, the more you learn and the easier it gets. I was saying awesome when you read that comment because I'm so glad Apurva's referencing our last episode. We love to
Yeah.
see people watching each one. We build on different concepts, and there will be a nice template for each or all of our episodes, which is awesome.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Idar's resurfacing rather our remixable template in
Nice.
both chats, YouTube and Behance. Also linked in the description of this video if you're watching the replay. We have a remixable template with every single episode. This is coming along very, very well.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it again because I forgot what sentence I left off on, but
That's okay.
let's
You
play
can't be perfect. You can't
it.
be perfect, Lucas.
And I probably should highlight too that Phil and I are talking. We're having a conversation. We're hanging out for the hour. If I were doing this on my own, I have this process probably down to like 5 minutes from start to finish on the video. So if it's
Wow.
looking like this is taking me a while, it's because we're having our conversation, we're hanging out with you. But you can make this very quickly if you are just in the zone, locked in, and have the content already filmed. All right, let's see. Struggling to figure out what to post on social media? Staring at your screen, expecting it to write the caption for you? Yeah, same. But what if I told you that you could have an entire year of content ideas planned out for you? Introducing the 2025 Social Media Made Easy Content Calendar. It's like having a tiny marketing genius whispering content ideas in your ear, except way less creepy. So if you'd rather spend less time overthinking captions and more time actually growing your brand, grab your copy now. Your future self will thank you. Okay, so let's see. I want to save something for that tiny marketing genius one. We'll use some stock for that, or we'll make some fun little drawings here. But let's fill in like a quick little clip, probably at the end when we have your future self will thank you. I did a little end booking here where we're starting the video with a clip of me. I'm looking all stressed. That transformative content. I'm looking all stressed, but by the end of the video, let's slide down. I'm going to be relieved. I have this great content calendar. Let's put that there. Here's me wiping the sweat off my forehead because this is now a breeze. Look at that. Whoa, easy as can be.
Mhm.
Finishing. There we go. So that's going to be my final clip. In the middle here, 6.3 seconds. Let's just get a quick little clip. Me tapping my mouse or that scrolling clip we had. Let's go with that. I like the scrolling that we did. So again, this was an Adobe stock video, and I like these for longer clips because typically the Adobe stock clips are at least 20 seconds, 30 seconds, longer as well. So you know that you can really pick and choose like the segment you want. Again, as we're showing here, I can really just slide it and be like, all right, what part of this video do I really want to feature in that 6-second blurb? Let's go with that one. All right, now we're just stuck with this last little clip. It's like having a tiny marketing genius, and it's a blank screen just to show different styles of video creation. In a normal video, I would probably stick to just video clips, but just to show some like other capabilities that are fun, I like to sometimes do like a little drawing kind of sketchbook illustration style. So for this clip, let's put a little drawing here. Let's do, I said, it's like having a tiny marketing genius whispering in your ear. Let's create some, oh, we're not doing text here. We're doing elements.
Don't
Let's
worry.
add,
Don't apologize. The UI for Adobe Express has just changed, which, by the way, I love, but they've reorganized the room and we're finding out where everything is hidden in the kitchen. You know, it's like kind of funny. I go to
it is.
like add a text layer. It's like, oh, wait, that's not where it was. So, yes, you'll notice those little updates that have been made this week.
What looks like a tiny marketing genius? This I like this little Albert Einstein icon. That's
Yeah, I
kind
do
of
too. I
fun.
was hoping you'd pick that one.
Let's go with that one. And then we'll put them there. And again, you can see I love this. It's filling in the gaps here, right? Where we are appearing. It's nice to see that it's like, here, I'll zoom us in a bit. It's showing like, oh, we just want this little Albert Einstein image right during this blank screen. It's not going to stick Albert Einstein over all our video clips, which is really nice. Let me just zoom out there. Oh, zooming out my image. There we go. All right. I think I just accidentally zoomed my screen too much.
Oh, that happens. Let's see. Minus side, that should bring you out, but it looks not too bad. Or I think it's, what
This
is
is
it
a
again?
Mac. This is my MacBook here, not not
Oh,
context.
right.
But let's work with that. Let's work with
Yeah,
the tiny
yeah.
marketing genius, anyways. All right, now I want an ear because it's a tiny marketing genius whispering in your ear. Let's do. I like this one. Whenever I'm working with like icons, I try to get like the same thickness of like the pen stroke for what was making it.
Hmm. Good
All right,
call.
something like
That's a good
that.
move.
Yeah, just so it stays consistent. And again, if you're new and you're beginning and you're keeping different icon thicknesses, not the end of the world. But it's just something I like to do to really just make sure it all kind of sticks together. All right, let me see. Oh, there we go. I just zoomed back out from not in my project because my Mac thought I was trying to zoom in my project. We're back to the right size. Okay, we got our tiny marketing genius, Albert Einstein. Have you heard his marketing tips, Phil? I don't know.
No, I haven't, but I'm ready to.
He's here. Let's go ahead and animate him. Let's add some animations, group them together. And I want to have him popping in. So let's have them. We want them to bungee. And again, I'll show how I did that. I just clicked these 3 little dots after I grouped them together. And it gives me the Oh, sorry. I clicked on the group, click on the group, and it's on the left there, animation right there. If I want to change the colors and stuff, I can ungroup them and edit those. But let's have some options here. I want them to drift in. They can drop in. They could spin in, slide in, tumble. Got any preferences?
I'm digging the tumble. Um, I mean, yeah. You could also, what if you were to switch the location of it and do Albert Einstein and then the ear, almost like in the location of like,
Okay.
oh wait, no, I see. I see. Albert
I could,
Einstein's
well,
talking into the ear. I misunderstood your
I could
artistic
ungroup
vision
them.
here.
I could ungroup them, which is fun.
Yeah, because then
Like,
then Lucas, they could come in at different speeds. Let's actually show this. So once you've applied an animation, you can get into those more granular controls, which is exactly what you just did. So bingo, select that, and then you can adjust variables related to that animation, whether it's intensity, speed, for example, direction.
yeah, direction's huge for like this is what I think you were envisioning, right? Like one coming from the left, one coming from the right.
That is exactly what I was
So that
envisioning.
one, now we have the ear popping in from the left side coming in, and we'll have the Albert Einstein come in from the right. Let's just see what we're dealing with here. There's my
It's like
ear coming in. And then let's have Albert Einstein. Let's have him tumble in. We'll tumble in from the right. How's that, Albert? There we go. All right. So Albert Einstein's coming
Albert.
in there.
You guys on a first name basis?
We are. My other ones that I really like are the looping
Me
animation.
too.
Because we
Me
don't want
too.
We don't want them to just come in and then just stay there because the clip is 5 seconds long. So we want some movement here. I think if you look at my incoming animation, and again, just little things I like to highlight here is this little purple dot is telling me you've already applied an incoming animation. It's nice to know what I've already done. But let's have it a little bit. Let's have it take up a bit more time. A second and a half. There we go. He's coming in a bit more slower. I got 5 seconds to spare. Let's have the ear do the same. The ear was super quick, so let's have them both come in. There we go.
I also love the looping animations. They can be really subtle. Like in this case, we want something a bit more animated, but I recommend for people to like play with the variables. That's something I haven't done as much. That's like a newer thing in my workflow is
Yep.
explore if you want it to be really subtle, if you want it to be faster.
Some favorites of mine that like lend to what you're describing are pulse and bop. So you can see
Yeah,
they're already moving. I like bop right now. Again, like Phil said, these controls are always here. Let's click on those controls and I can like speed it up so it's bopping really fast. Or I can slow it down. So it's going nice and slow. Same
that's a
thing.
slow bop, a
That's a
slow
slow
jam.
bop. The intensity will like be like how much it's waving and moving. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be a little hard for Albert here to keep track of, I think. So we'll keep that ear moving nice and slow for him. Let's do the same to Albert. Let's loop him. Maybe he's pulsing. Yeah, let's have him pulsing here.
See,
Again,
I think that's
lower.
fun. Erica says I'm definitely going to use this. I'm a TikTok shop affiliate and
Oh,
waiting to
nice.
expand in the UGC world. Erica, I hope you feel like you have the tools that you need from our little hangout sesh today.
And I like with UGC, you never know what the brand's going to be looking for. So like
No.
show different ways of creating content. Like again, if this wasn't like a demonstrative session like Phil and I are doing right now, I might make one video that's entirely this animation style. In fact, if you look on my Instagram, there are videos that are like that where I just like explain social media concepts and have a bunch of animations popping on screen. Tons of people were like, "How did you make that? How did you make that?" Well, Adobe Express. I still have to make that tutorial, I promised, but here is the tutorial. It's just voiceover content using elements like icons here, animating them and having them appear on screen as it's relevant to what I'm saying. Maybe create like a nice little illustrative style reel to send to brands, and then create a face to camera one, and then create a B-roll one where it's just behind the scenes of the voiceover. Give that portfolio, and you never know what they're going to want to see. Let's take a look at what we got here, though. Let's watch
Let's
this.
see it all together. The
Let's look.
moment.
You just want to hear the yeah, same part again.
I do. You
Here we
know it.
go. Let me close this so we can look at it. All right. Struggling to figure out what to post on social media? Staring at your screen, expecting it to write the caption for you? Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
same.
But what if I told you that you could have an entire year of content ideas planned out for you? Introducing the 2025 Social Media Made Easy Content Calendar. It's like having a tiny marketing genius whispering content ideas in your ear, except way less creepy. So if you'd rather spend less time overthinking captions and more time actually growing your brand, grab your copy now. Your future self will thank you. And so, oh, I left, I got it cut off. Let's extend that a bit. But yeah, that is basically like how we're doing it, right? Your future self will thank you, and so will your engagement. There we go. One thing I want to highlight too, that is a nice little trick I didn't intend on, is this. Like they stopped talking about the creepy little genius whispering in your ear halfway through this sentence, and the scene changed because I clipped it at the wrong spot. You can totally do that. Sometimes I find if I wait for the sentence to end, that clip ends up being too long. Whereas if you end up changing it mid sentence, kind of subverts the audience's expectations, and that's a nice way to grab attention as well, which your audience doesn't expect. So whatever it takes, try different ways to grab attention, play with these clips, use them. I like this building block style because it's so easy to just drag things around and move things around.
So good. Wait, can we see it one more time? We just have to see this in complete start to finish.
Struggling to figure out what to post on social media? Staring at your screen, expecting it to write the caption for you? Yeah, same. But what if I told you that you could have an entire year of content ideas planned out for you. Introducing the 2025 Social Media Made Easy Content Calendar. It's like having a tiny marketing genius whispering content ideas in your ear, except way less creepy. So if you'd rather spend less time overthinking captions and more time actually growing your brand, grab your copy now. Your future self will thank you. There we go.
Absolute perfection. Narration done in Express, media, stock video and photo and icon design elements from Express, video editing in Express, everything done in one place to create UGC content, which can become such a powerful stream of income. Take it from the two of us that have not only added this into our workflow in addition to our day-to-day jobs, but also positioned ourselves to create content that's really fun and rewarding to make, right?
Yeah, I hope that was clear in that little clip. Like, we were having fun doing it, right? That should be coming first. Have fun. Obviously, if you have like brands that you have to make certain videos for, stick to it. But they ultimately want you to show your voice, show your unique style. Have fun with it because that's where it all starts.
We certainly did. We always do here on Social Media Makeover. Apurva, you said this was beautiful. Idara said this was great. I mean, thank you all for being here and hanging out with us in the live hour. Catch the replay. Catch the replay not only of this episode, but all 5 of our episodes so far. We'll be back in a few weeks with a brand new episode. Until then, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.